The messenger Voyager, sent by humanity to the infinite universe, is now approaching its end. This spacecraft is now about 23.5 billion kilometers from Earth. Now, due to its depleting battery, it is about to go dead. That's why recently, National Aeronautics and Space Administration has also shut down its data bring-back system, and now it's almost gone into standby mode. National Aeronautics and Space Administration's active connection with them has also been given up. Yes. National Aeronautics and Space Administration's active connection has been given up. Yes. National Aeronautics and Space Administration's active connection with them has also been given up. Yes. National Aeronautics and Space Administration's active connection with them has also been given up. These National Aeronautics and Space Administration active connections have also been given up. The Voyager mission is unique because it goes beyond a typical scientific mission and connects to human emotions. These missions not only introduced us to our solar system but also made us aware of some deep secrets hidden within it. These spacecraft are also one of a kind because they made such a long journey for the first time, and they are still continuing to do so even today. Currently, Voyager 1 is the farthest man-made object from Earth, followed by Voyager 2, which is the second farthest object from Earth. The story of how the Voyager spacecraft was built is also quite fascinating. In fact, originally National Aeronautics and Space Administration had no plans to launch any spacecraft like Voyager. In the mid-60s, when there were discussions about interplanetary flyby missions, initially there was a unique mission. To execute the Mariner Jupiter-Saturn 1977 mission, Mariner Jupiter-Saturn 1977, it was planned. In the mid-60s, when the interplanetary flyby mission Mariner Jupiter-Saturn was being planned, it was planned. This time, National Aeronautics and Space Administration's agenda included studying every gas giant from gigantic Jupiter to icy Neptune. This mission was originally planned for the first 12 years. In 1989, just after passing Neptune, they entered a new chapter, where they were moving forward not just to uncover mysteries, but to make history. The first milestone in this series was achieved when Voyager 1 spacecraft crossed the heliopause and entered interstellar space. And a few years later, its companion mission Voyager 2 also achieved the same milestone. A constant forward force keeps pushing them back. In fact, after their power-packed launch from Earth, their speed in outer space became very high, which helped increase it even more. Jupiter is capable of performing a slingshot maneuver. According to National Aeronautics and Space Administration scientists, the radioisotope thermoelectric generator or radioisotope thermoelectric generator installed in it has become inefficient due to aging. The radioactive substances present in nuclear batteries remain unaffected and untouched by external factors for the next 300,000 years. So they will really reach their next destination, in which Voyager 1 will reach the AC plus 793,888 star system in 40,000 years, and Voyager 2 will arrive at Sagittarius A in up to 298,000 years. And we hope that until then, they remain safe from troubles and obstacles, and that the message of humanity reaches those unknown extraterrestrials. By the way, what do you think about this? Will they be able to safely reach these stars, or will their end come before that? In the 1989 sci-fi horror film Alien, we were told that in space, no one can hear you scream. No matter how loudly you scream, the person standing in front of you won't be able to hear your voice. And actually, that's true in a perfect vacuum. Because there's no air, there aren't any particles present in the atmosphere there. That's why the vibrations produced by sound can't travel forward. And that's the reason why you can't hear any sound in space. But now generally we hear sounds while living on Earth. In fact, there they exist in a completely different form. Electromagnetic waves. Yes, this could be a possible factor. These special types of waves are classic examples that do not depend on any medium for their creation. However, the radio waves that we use to send signals to our spacecraft, in fact, they are also of the same kind. Well, the main point of this long explanation is that in space, the spacecraft Voyager has also captured it, which holds many mysteries and wonders within itself. Let's uncover this new mystery of Voyager. Voyager is traveling through interstellar space, having crossed the boundaries of the heliosphere. Even in these tough times, even after 45 years since its launch, its action hasn't stopped. Where else could you see this in a lifetime? Researchers keep publishing new papers from its data. So even today, despite being surrounded by so many troubles, it is still regularly sending us all the important information. Just recently, Voyager has captured some strange kinds of radio waves. After converting them into sound, the results were surprising. Actually, it was a set of some vibrations in which the universe seemed to be humming. Get a better idea by starting yourself first. Listen to this sound and let it resonate in your mind. It was captured by the plasma wave instrument. Originally, it was captured as radio waves. But later, National Aeronautics and Space Administration processed it and converted it into an audible format. As a result, you are now able to hear it with your own ears. This is not the first time that we've heard something like this from Voyager. In fact, Voyager has played such strange and unusual sounds for us many times before. National Aeronautics and Space Administration explains these sounds are caused by movements in organized plasma or gases in the empty regions of interstellar space. When there is a vibration in the plasma for some reason, or when these gas clouds collide with each other, these sounds are produced. However, the sounds that have been captured recently by Voyager are a bit different from the earlier sounds. While the earlier sounds had a noise produced by air pressure, this time these sounds are a bit different. When you listen to the sounds recently received from Voyager, you can hear a tonal note that is a kind of music that seems to be produced by a string instrument. However, this sound is so faint that it's almost impossible for the human ear to hear it. But according to the explanation given by scientists, this music is very sharp and thin in tone. It reminds us of the piano's lowest note, A. Researchers say that this entire tone doesn't sound the same all at once. After a straight sound spike, some dips can be seen, which give this sound wave a state of fluctuations, and because of this sound seems like a kind of humming. There is also an important scientific relevance hidden behind this discovery. So, did we not even properly know about our own solar system, let alone interstellar space? Voyager itself was the first spacecraft to have a close encounter with all the gas giants, and it provided us with those extremely important pieces of information about them, based on which we were able to carry out further planetary investigation missions like Cassini and Juno. However, this golden journey of the Voyagers was not as fun and chill as it seems to all of us today. They also faced many tough times and challenges, and today, as they work in outer space, it's been more than 4.5 decades, yet they are still continuing their mission. Previously, the Voyagers also encountered a major issue with their outdated, worn-out computers. Yes, we are talking about them, the strange signals being sent by Voyager, which had troubled the scientists. Actually, since the beginning of this year, problems have been seen in Voyager's attitude and articulation control subsystem, that is, attitude and articulation control subsystem. Let me tell you, this is the same onboard computer of Voyager that always keeps Voyager's primary antenna pointed towards Earth for uninterrupted transmission. In August 2022, a major fault was seen in it. When National Aeronautics and Space Administration's Deep Space Network Lab received glitchy data from Voyager, they initially thought it was just a simple computer error. After that, while fixing it, they ran a correction algorithm. However, at that time, they tried to fix it and did whatever was possible immediately. But then, Team Voyager found out something that was really shocking for them. In fact, when the errors and glitches were checked, they got the regular data that National Aeronautics and Space Administration usually requires from Voyager. There was no issue with the data that was received. The team of engineers was currently puzzled as to how this could be possible. When the fixing operation was encoded in a new code form and it malfunctioned. Or you could say that it was even transmitted from the problematic attitude and articulation control subsystem system. So far, no solid argument has come forward regarding that computer swapping that happened in the visor. As of making this video, scientists are still busy analyzing that data. National Aeronautics and Space Administration maintains the mission has long surpassed its scheduled duration. And in this situation, errors occur. are a common thing? Beyond this Earth full of life, there is an entire universe filled with mysteries which scientists are constantly exploring every day. Revelations related to the secrets of this universe are coming to light every day. And in this process, our scientists face a new challenge every day. These challenges do make our path difficult, but they can't stop us from reaching our goals. Amidst these challenges, we have accomplished many astonishing missions, whether it's choosing the blazing sun or making our traveler's journey through a freezing world, whether it's bringing life to the harsh conditions of space or gazing into the deep dark space beyond our reach. Humans have achieved everything once thought only possible in hopes. But it's not like we've achieved everything we've always wanted to. This is one such unspoken desire, longing, or you could say challenge. Voyager spacecrafts, which are messengers. For now, this messenger appears surrounded by clouds of trouble in the vast universe of human civilization. From weakening batteries to outdated onboard instruments, everything is becoming an obstacle for this mission. But this journey just doesn't seem to stop. Thanks to intense perseverance, this traveler has spent the last 45 years continuously journeying through deep space. But now, after a long time, this mission is facing a problem, and that problem is that the transponders installed in it are not working properly. Actually, recently, the team of scientists operating the Voyager mission discovered a major anomaly in the signals coming from the Voyager spacecraft. After that, an investigation team was formed at National Aeronautics and Space Administration to get to the root of the problem. This team was supposed to study these signals and reveal their actual crack points. Actually, this is what happened with the Voyagers. What happened was that the Earth-aligned antennas installed in them started sending some strange signals towards Earth. They failed to explain it. Voyager had already crossed the heliopause and entered interstellar space about 10 years ago in 2012. But even so, it is still experiencing the sun's gravitational effect. However, scientists believe that this spacecraft still has the capability to go much farther. If we talk about its current speed, it is moving 61,500 kilometers away from Earth every hour. That means, in a year, this spacecraft covers a distance of 523 million kilometers. Keep in mind that all these figures are relative, because our entire universe and every particle in it is in motion. That's why all calculations are done from Earth's reference point. Well, if you don't understand these heavy physics terms, it's okay because I'm here after all. On Big Bang Television, you'll keep finding videos related to astronomy, astrophysics, and rocket science like this. And the best part is that all these videos are simple and in Hindi language, which you can easily understand as well. So make sure to subscribe to Big Bang Television now. Let's get back to the video. According to this, right now this spacecraft is 14.5 billion kilometers away from its home, that is Earth. This distance is so great that even signals traveling at the speed of light from here take a full 20 hours to reach Earth. That means if any command is sent from Earth to the Voyagers, it takes almost a whole day to reach these spacecrafts. Yes, a full day. That's why the team responsible for protecting this spacecraft from all dangers and collisions can't always stay alert. As soon as any danger is detected, it is immediately maneuvered and shifted to another trajectory. Thanks to such maneuver efforts, this spacecraft is still completely safe and sound to this day. Anyway, recently, while explaining Voyager 1's signal problem, National Aeronautics and Space Administration stated that actually the real reason behind this whole incident is a malfunction in the computers. On this topic, project manager Susan Dodd says the signal disturbance is due to Voyager's onboard circuits. Due to a technical fault, the circuit is manipulating Voyager antenna's computer. That's why we are seeing these strange signals. The malfunction in the onboard computers is making it difficult to restore the normal operation of this mission. It is very important to solve this technical problem which has occurred this time. Voyager 1's main antenna has a malfunction. Because of this, it is becoming increasingly difficult for the spacecraft to receive and transmit signals. However, there is no doubt that this mission has become very old now. This may be National Aeronautics and Space Administration's oldest mission to date. It's the longest ongoing mission, but that won't stop this journey. Basically, we humans will definitely face difficulties in getting updates related to this mission. But this won't be the end of the journey. And anyway, this mission was sent to live forever, so how can it possibly end? I'm sure you must know the history of these spacecraft and the story hidden behind the scenes, and even if you don't, let me tell you that this thing called Voyager is not from today or yesterday, but is a product of the 70s. This is an ultimate space mission. It was launched not only with the goals of scientific research and discoveries, but also to fulfill several humanitarian motives. This spacecraft is a symbol of the existence of all of us humans. Even if, after a few lakh or million years, we or our Earth cease to exist, the message sent with this traveler will never end. Yes, we are talking about Voyager's Golden Record, which contains pictures and sounds related to Earth and humanity. Such a magnificent collection. National Aeronautics and Space Administration sent it along with this spacecraft, and even today, this Golden Record is traveling through the infinite universe with the spacecraft. Humans sent this token of theirs with the thought that one day, when this spacecraft goes far away from us, then it will also take these proofs of our existence along with it as a companion on its journey. In such a case, if ever by chance it falls into the hands of some high-tech and intelligent civilization in this universe, then they will also know that there is a place called Earth in this universe, where perhaps the most intelligent beings of this universe live. Even if they reach us or not, whether they know how to send signals to us or not, at least they should feel envious seeing that there is someone even more intelligent than them living in this universe, of whom they were unaware until now. But there's a problem here, and that is, will we humans even survive by the time this spacecraft reaches those unknown aliens? On December 21, 1968, astronaut William Anders was on National Aeronautics and Space Administration's Apollo 8 module, and he clicked a picture of the Earth like this. 3 days later, on December 24, from a distance of about 400,000 kilometers, he captured the Earth once again with his camera. This is the Earth, which is probably the only one in the entire universe where people like us live. This is the Earth where there is life, there is land, air, water, forests, animals, springs, rivers, humans. You, me, neighbors, happy, sad, laughing, teasing, everything is here and there is nothing outside this blue planet. This Earth, as seen from the moon, definitely gives a message. That home is right here. On this Earth, where our ancestors were born, understood this planet, and learned to live here. From the beginning of life on this Earth until today, we have made many discoveries, which made us great and greater. We humans became all-powerful on this Earth. But on February 14th, 1990, Voyager 1's this picture tells us that we are so insignificant in this universe that we can't even prove our own existence. This picture became famous as the pale blue dot. This picture, taken from about 6 billion kilometers away, was enough to amaze people that our Earth, where billions of people live, is just a tiny part of the universe. It couldn't even take up a single pixel in this picture. But the people living on this tiny dot created something that could go so far and take this picture. And it's continuously moving forward, carrying the message of our humanity for the extraterrestrials living in this universe. Yes, we are talking about the Voyager mission, but recently National Aeronautics and Space Administration has lost contact with this mission that has captured our hearts. So let's find out how all this happened, how Voyager's communication system actually works, and why it's important for us to keep communicating with it. About 46 years ago, on August 20, 1977, the Voyager 2 spacecraft was launched. To explore the outer planets of our solar system, Voyager 1 was launched about 2 weeks later on September 5. In about 2 years, Voyager 2 did a flyby of Jupiter in July 1989, reached near Saturn in 1981, and then, after traveling for about 5 years in this dark space, in 1986 it encounters Uranus, and finally in August 1989, it does a flyby of Neptune and completes the grand tour of the solar system. After flying by Saturn and Titan, Voyager 1 had also completed its primary mission. Both spacecraft were in very good condition, so both of them were sent further to study the edge of the solar system, where the effect of the sun's radiation ends and a new beginning starts. Voyager 1 entered interstellar space on August 25, 2012, It entered interstellar space. As of today, it is so far from us that you can get an idea of this by the fact that any command sent from here takes about 18 hours to reach Voyager 2, and it takes another 18 hours for a response to come back. It takes that long to get confirmation from the spacecraft about whether the command sent earlier worked properly or not. Recently, we've heard several times that we're receiving some strange signals from Voyager, that there's some glitch in Voyager's communication, and there have been many such reports. So National Aeronautics and Space Administration says that the Voyager spacecraft are now old. It has even less power than the tiny cell in your watch by billions of times. In such a situation, even for National Aeronautics and Space Administration, it's not easy to maintain contact with them. Voyager 2 moving ahead at a dangerous speed about 20 billion kilometers away from us in the darkness-filled interstellar space. On July 21, 2023, planned commands were set to be sent to Voyager 2 from Earth. There's no doubt that National Aeronautics and Space Administration and the team of engineers are complete experts at their work. But the one sent on July 21, that command created such an anomaly on Voyager 2 that its antenna, which was earlier facing Earth, is now turned 2 degrees away. And just after that, we haven't been able to make any contact with Voyager 2. Now, the biggest problem here is to secure the data that is currently on board Voyager 2. Taking corrective measures from National Aeronautics and Space Administration aside, several commands have already been sent to Voyager 2 to adjust its antenna by 2 degrees towards Earth. But Voyager 2 is not able to receive these signals. And if anything goes wrong with the spacecraft during this time, National Aeronautics and Space Administration won't have any other chance to fix these mistakes. That's why establishing contact with Voyager 2 is our top priority right now. But do you know how we communicate with these Voyager spacecraft? To communicate with spacecraft roaming in outer space, National Aeronautics and Space Administration has set up a network of antennas around the world that can send and receive signals in every direction. This is called the Deep Space Network. To communicate with Voyager 2, National Aeronautics and Space Administration uses 3 antennas from this deep space network. The first one is located in Madrid, Spain, the second in Goldstone, California, and the third one is the most important. National Aeronautics and Space Administration as Deep Space Station 43 is located in Canberra, which is also called the Canberra Deep Space Communication Complex. This antenna in Canberra is the only one that can directly communicate with Voyager 2. The other antennas are not well oriented and aligned with Voyager 2 to be able to send a direct signal to it. So National Aeronautics and Space Administration's last hope is just this 70-meter radio dish. Whatever happens will happen from here. But this isn't the first time National Aeronautics and Space Administration has lost contact with the Voyager mission. This happens quite often. Such situations are often seen in space missions, but National Aeronautics and Space Administration also deals with these problems in a better way. National Aeronautics and Space Administration has experience operating spacecraft that have completed their missions for a long time, so National Aeronautics and Space Administration knows how to handle this situation. This is not a new experience for National Aeronautics and Space Administration. In March 2020, the Canberra Deep Space Communication Complex was shut down for about 11 months for maintenance and upgrades. And at that time, for about 11 months, National Aeronautics and Space Administration did not make any contact with Voyager 2. But before ending contact, National Aeronautics and Space Administration gave Voyager 2 the command that it would have to maintain its operations for a long time without any commands, which Voyager 2 did. And after 11 months, the connection was re-established, but this time the situation is a little different. This time, National Aeronautics and Space Administration did not do this intentionally. There has been some kind of error in the command, or there is some glitch in the onboard computer. Because of this, Voyager 2's antenna has turned by 2 degrees. Now the main problem here is that we don't know why exactly this happened. The rest of the engineers team is busy investigating this whole incident. But ever since this incident happened, Deep Space Station 43 has been listening to every signal coming from space. They are also trying to establish contact by slightly tweaking the values here and there. And finally, their hard work has paid off. The Voyager mission mission control team has detected a carrier signal coming from the spacecraft. This let the scientists know that even though we've lost contact with Voyager 2, Voyager 2 is still safe and continuously sending signals. This has given some relief to the scientists, but the fear is that if something happens in the meantime, we could lose the spacecraft forever. But if everything goes well, Voyager 2 will automatically calibrate its orientation on October 15 and turn its antenna toward Earth. Voyager 2 performs these maneuvers several times a year. In these, it automatically adjusts its orientation and alignment by using our sun and about 14 nearby pulsars as reference points. According to the schedule, its reorientation is set for October 15 decoy. So, we in National Aeronautics and Space Administration might have to wait until October 15 to communicate with Voyager 2. Only time will tell whether we'll be able to say hello to Voyager 2 again or not. Voyager 2 is 20 billion kilometers from us, roughly 133 times farther than the distance from Earth to the Sun. Here, you can say two words to Voyager, and both of those words have deep meanings. First, that the Voyager spacecraft is now 46 years old, and second, that even after being 46 years old, and even after their end, they will remain humanity's message alive forever. In this entire universe, as far as we have been able to know it, Earth is the safest option for us. As soon as we step outside Earth, space becomes dangerous and mysterious for us. The farther we go out into this vast expanse, that's why whenever an astronaut goes into space, he notices a lot of strange things. When we have sent humans beyond the boundaries of Earth, then on returning, they have brought back some unheard, unknown and mysterious stories and experiences with them. And along with that, a lot of data as well, based on which we continue to carry out new developments in space. But is the same story happening with Voyagers as well? Are they also experiencing some very strange things in this mysterious space? The recent updates about Voyagers and the commotion on YouTube regarding Voyager clearly indicate that Voyager is definitely in some trouble. But how much truth is there in this matter after all? After all, what have the Voyagers seen in interstellar space that we people on Earth should be cautious about? What did they see there, and do we need to be afraid of it? Let's find out in today's video. On July 20, 1969, when humans first landed on the moon, our spirits soared. And we felt that now we should explore outer space even more. And about 8 years after the success of Apollo 11, we launched two spacecraft that are still considered among the greatest spacecraft in history. We launched the Voyager spacecraft that are still recording data using the old 8-track tape recorder technology. You'll be surprised that these recorders have about 3 million times less memory than a typical smartphone today. They can only hold a few bytes of data. Also, the speed at which it sends us data is about 1,000 times slower than a normal 4G internet connection today. And even today, both these spacecraft are still working in the harsh environment of space. The Voyagers did their job very well, for which they were made. Although Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 were similar, Voyager 2 was launched to study all 4 outer planets, that is Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune. And its trajectory was also set accordingly, whereas Voyager 1 was sent only to study the inner planets Jupiter and Saturn. Along with that, the moons of these gas giants were also to be studied, and especially Saturn's moon Titan was given higher priority, because of which its trajectory had to be changed after Saturn so that it could explore Titan. Because of this, Voyager 1 couldn't go to Uranus and Neptune and exited 32 degrees north above the solar system's ecliptic plane. Voyager 1's mission had ended at this point, but we still had the treasure of data sent by Voyager 1. But after this, its twin Voyager 2 accomplished the historical journey to Uranus and Neptune. These missions were not easy for us at all because no mission had ever gone this far before. We didn't know what lay ahead, what the conditions would be like there, or how it would affect the mission. The whole game was running on probability, but the Vicers pulled it off. When Voyager 2 flew by Neptune in 1989, it was a day of celebration for the entire Voyager team and humanity, because we had measured even the last planet of our entire solar system. We, living on Earth, were the first beings to accomplish this feat. Another thing that will surprise you is that both these missions were launched for a period of only 5 years. But today, it's been almost 46 years since this mission started, and it's still moving forward perfectly fine. Voyager and its team definitely deserve to be appreciated for this success, because surviving in a place with outdated technology where we've never been before, where every moment is a danger for our spacecrafts, and where there's nothing except a harsh environment, Voyager has been traveling continuously for the last 46 years. This is truly commendable. Well, one thing is that some people think that Voyager is a National Aeronautics and Space Administration mission, and as Indians, how can we feel connected to Voyager? The answer is that Voyager doesn't belong to National Aeronautics and Space Administration. It was sung in Rajasthani and Gujarati to the harmonium, sitar and tabla. Hindustani traditional music Jat Kahan Ho in the voice of Kesar Bai Kirka has also been included. It is a matter of pride for us that today our Indian culture is being recognized in this infinite space. It will continue to travel in this infinite space for eternity. These become the first and second spacecraft. Now, both these spacecraft were moving forward into such a dark world about which we knew nothing. At such a distance, anything could go wrong. And finally, the time came when Voyager 1 started transmitting strange and completely nonsensical data to us. What the Voyager team feared was now starting to happen with Voyager. To save battery power, almost all of Voyager's instruments were turned off. Only a few instruments are still operating on Voyager today, like the Attitude and Articulation Control Subsystem, that is, the Attitude Articulation and Control System, which keeps Voyager's antenna. PR Bar had detected this malfunction. At first, National Aeronautics and Space Administration thought that the reason for receiving incorrect data could be that Voyager's high-gain antenna was not pointing towards Earth. But looking at the health and condition of the signal, it didn't seem like that at all. Although it definitely tries to communicate, and the same thing was happening with Voyager 1 as well. Voyager 1's attitude and articulation control subsystem was fine and its high-gain antenna faced Earth, but it was not able to communicate properly. Now the question was, why did this suddenly start happening with Voyager, which is billions of kilometers away? However, Voyager's science instruments were working properly. They were collecting data, and the data was also being transmitted. The whole system was in working condition. If something had gone wrong, the whole system should have gone into safe mode. The engineers discovered the data, attitude, and articulation control subsystem was sending. It was coming from an onboard computer that had failed on Voyager a long time ago and was shut down, had stopped working. Now the scientists just had to instruct the attitude and articulation control subsystem to use the correct onboard computer. But the scientists were surprised as to why this had happened in the first place. After all, how was this onboard computer switch even possible in this desolate space? What were those commands that caused the computers to swap, and who exactly gave those commands? So the answer lies in this video by Veritasium titled "The Universe is Hostile to Computers." Actually, what happened is that the Voyagers have now left our solar system. They are no longer within the protective shield of our sun. where they could avoid cosmic rays. Scientists think cosmic rays caused the Voyager's onboard computers to swap. And that's why even though the Voyagers were fine, they were sending us incorrect and nonsense data. A similar incident occurred with Voyager 2. We all know that both of these spacecraft are very far away from us. That aliens have located the Voyager spacecraft, and they have also disturbed the communication happening from Earth. I don't think there's any point in believing these useless theories, but then we know that people do believe in these theories, and there's a big reason behind this. All these things have curiosity in them. They take our illusions to their destination, the ones we've been holding in our minds for a long time. Just think about it, if they were really aliens, would they only mess with the settings on the visors? If they're really so intelligent that they can reach a spacecraft in space, then why haven't we found any signatures of their technological advancement till now? Yes, aliens exist, but such an advanced alien race is not around our solar system. These are the ones who spread all these conspiracy theories. They either want to sell their books or get views.
Or they want to increase the television rating point of their media shows. You know, every 6 months goes by and then you see a headline, oh, astrophysicists have to rethink the Big Bang, or Big Bang debunked. Or yeah, it makes excellent clickbait.
Yeah, there it is. It's clickbait headlines because it's just really bad science. And actually, the guy who claimed that the Big Bang didn't happen, he once published his book called Big Bang Never Happened. And this gentleman's name is Eric J. Lerner, whose book you can find on Amazon. So these conspiracy theories are created just to serve their own interests. And these conspiracy theorists have a different mindset. Of course, aliens do exist in this universe, but either we haven't been able to find them or they are just too far away from us. But they're nowhere near our solar system. Keep in mind that here we are talking about intelligent aliens. What is your opinion on this? Do let us know in the comment section. We have a better explanation for whatever happened on the visors. This is not an alien invasion and there is no need to be afraid of it. Friends, I hope you have understood the whole matter and learned something good from this video. Friends, if you like this video, please like it and be sure to share it with your friends. For more such informative videos, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell notification.